My name's Jordan Wood and I'm a student in Manchester. My life revolves primarily around music, especially dance. I regularly attend music venues all around the UK, hoping to get a glimpse of my favourite DJs and hear their sets. Personally mix and produce, but for me it's a hobby, not something I'm trying to pursue professionally. I do however come from a musical family, so even from a young age I've been interested and inspired by music. I've often wondered how an amateur DJ would handle breaking into the industry. This question led me towards this documentary. I was excited to participate in an exclusive musical journey. Initially, this journey led me to meet two up-and-coming DJs who this far have found it tough breaking into the music scene. Speaking to these two men offered me a chance to understand what it takes to become a famous DJ and the amount of effort that goes on.
The scene in Manchester is quite dominated by the people who own the nights. So you have to sort of start your own night to try and get in it, and we're doing that at the moment. So we are trying to break the DJ scene.
For me, it's just a good hobby to have, a side of doing work, especially because we're in third year now. You've got a lot of work to do, so DJing is a good way to sort of do something that's almost it's a bit stress alleviating whilst you're doing work. So it's pretty good in that regard.
It's really expensive trying to keep up with everything. But apart from that, I'd just use DJing as a hobby. I enjoy it. It kind of brings together what my degree's about, because I'm doing music production and I'm into music, and it kind of cements it both together. So I'd say I haven't wanted to stop, but the money side of things on a student budget, that would probably be the likely thing that would make me want to stop, I'd say.
Not being able to DJ out is obviously annoying in some senses, because part of DJing is being able to play in front of people. That's what the enjoyment of doing it. But DJing at home is just fun, and just being able to just have the opportunity to mix any type of music you want and just almost make your own sets is something that's enjoyable without having to DJ in front of people. But yeah, it is annoying sometimes, because obviously whenever I've DJed, the most fun I've had is when you're playing in front of people. Yeah. So to be denied that opportunity, or it's made hard for that opportunity, then obviously you'd like that to be different.
Majority of nights, sort of DJ nights, your typical deep house nights, or your bass face, your sound control, they're all aimed at a student audience, and a lot of the attraction to those nights for students, I think, is they want to try and they want to pull someone, and they're not necessarily going for the music, but I mean it's the platform for that. But that's just for people who aren't necessarily into all the music, the clubbing culture, the student clubbing culture, they just sort of slot in there for that purpose, I think. Without trying to generalise, but yeah, I'd say if you want to hold a night which is with the focus on music and and a bit of self-respect as well for yourself in running the night, then I think it's completely wrong to have any sort of
gimmicky.
Yeah, gimmicky sort of aiming for students, cheap drinks and stuff.
Like Josh said, it depends what you're looking for. I don't really sort of condone it unless I feel that it's it has its uses. People do use gimmicks such as the sexualization of dance music at the moment. I don't have a problem with it if it's stuck to aiming towards having that commercial side to it. But for me personally, I look for the focus to be on the music, not on the sort of stuff that comes with it to sort of that almost sort of distract you from the music. You get YouTube channels. There's some YouTube channels that are getting really popular, or are actually really popular, Ethan and Majestic Casual, and they've got this whole concept of, with the songs that they upload, they put pictures of just half-naked girls, and you just sort of question why they're doing that. Are they not confident in the music that they're presenting, or are they just trying as much as possible to sort of make a business out of it, even though it's not focused on what is actually making them popular, if you know what I mean? So that's where I stand with it.
From this interview, it was apparent that the life of amateur DJ is not one of all glamour and shine. There's a very different side to the scene compared to what the clubbers see, the one that goes on behind the scenes. Years of honing skills and marketing is needed to create a successful night. I was intrigued with their response to the question asked about the Leeds promotion scandal, and I wanted to know a little further. This gave me a chance to see things from the perspective of a promoter, and to understand what their job entails and how their relationship with the DJs is. I had the pleasure of interviewing George Charlesworth, a local events organiser and promoter. George gave me an insight into how the clubs and events are run.
We try to focus on the music and on the artists and on everyone having a good time. Who people choose to go home with is their choice and it's completely at their discretion, but it's not promoted and it's not a selling feature. I think it is used and whether it's inappropriate or not is not for me to say. If people know that that's what's going to be on offer, they're entering it at their own risk. As long as everyone's safe and it's an environment where people can say no, that's the main concern. But I think the case in Leeds was obviously completely inappropriate. It was sexualising and sexist and just inappropriate. Making a video sexy for promotional purposes is something done by everyone, and no one's going to sue Coca-Cola. But it's when it crosses the line and becomes offensive. We don't have access to funding for mainstream advertising. We created a few independent videos, but it's mainly word of mouth. It's using social media, but in quite a localised and focused way, building upon the networks that the people involved can create and are a part of. So trying to expand that and just bring everybody's friends together rather than having just a night where people turn up to get drunk and not really know who they're with, maybe 5 or 6 people, but everyone knowing each other is the kind of way we have our experience. There's a mainstream scene for students, so the clubs that do student nights and student promotions and getting cheaper with your NUS card. Then there's nights that are, if you go and see an artist, then you could get anyone in there. I mean, it's generally younger people, but it doesn't discriminate between university students and young working adults. And then you get sort of community nights where it's slowly built and they're much more variant in age, and it's groups of friends and maybe people who've met through work and they go to certain events together often. So there is something for sort of any demographic to get into. The resident DJ is having a small resurgence, but resident DJs have kind of died out, and there was an art form in reading that crowd that you maybe know from each week, and keep continually showing them something new. Now you get a lot of reproduced nights, it's just the same thing coming on over and over, and that doesn't benefit the artist, it doesn't benefit the person going. It's come from people just wanting to exploit and make something as profitable as possible, focusing on like paying for a better DJ, make something more expensive, it becomes more expensive, the club's got a lower profit margin, it becomes less sensible to put an event on. DJs who aren't residents, they're generally cheaper, they can be inexperienced or just good at playing hits, which people just go
crowd pleasers.
Yeah, crowd pleasers. Just playing what they know will sell rather than trying to introduce people to new music and new experiences.
In this day and age, more and more people are wanting to become DJs. This isn't just due to the fame and money, I think it's also due to the clear sense of friendship and the good relationships that thrive in this industry. The 2 interviews also showed me that it's equally hard for both local promoters and DJs to gain access to the public's interest. It's because of this that they have to work together to gain publicity. It's also apparent that both DJs and promoters have similar views on sexual exploitation or encouragement being used to promote events. This is still being used at all levels of the music industry and in all genres, though for now how the audience will receive it is unknown. Looking into this world has given me a greater understanding of how the music I listen to and love is made and performed. I now see the difficulty that goes into making people's dreams happen and the complexity of promotional work.
like 2 or 3 months I built all this stress, but after 2 or 3 blunts it all makes sense. Getting busy with the shit, I'm losing all these friends. I swear I'm spending all my time and I could fall in debt. I bet it pays off, but why gamble when you could lose more than all you've bet? And people lose more the more they get. I don't do whores cause what you bought was more than sex, more than head, was short of life but more than dead. Questioning these laws, I swear the thoughts don't end. These dark corners of my mind I once couldn't step foot in. When the morning's still night and the street lights still beaming, I'm up, I'm still high.